Welcome back to another video. It's been a while. I've got some adapters in from K&F Concept. These were sent in via the company and I bought one of these myself prior to them sending the others in, just so you got some clarity. So what I'm going to do is just show you the different types that we have. I have three to look at. This particular one is the MD or SR mount for Minolta. With these lenses, they are pre-autofocus, so everything's done on the lens, and that includes the aperture control. Now this is what K&F are calling their newer style of pro adapters, and I've switched over to the Minolta Autofocus A-mount adapter, and this one does have the aperture control on the adapter, and it does have a click mechanism. There are 9 clicks in total on that. There's no electrical contacts, but you'll get your EXIF, shutter speed and your ISO. What you won't get obviously is the aperture and the focal length. The next adapter that I'm looking at is the Nikon F mount. It's the G version, and this is the older style adapter. I wanted to show you the differences between the older ones and the new Pro version. Apart from the cosmetic differences such as that orange band around the base, the older adapters have a satin finish inside, and what that means is there's potential for light to sort of bounce around their inside. Personally, I haven't had that many problems with it. But on the new ones, they've gone with this special matte coating on the inside, and that should pretty much eliminate any problems that you might get with stray light bouncing around on the inside. K&F seem to be updating the adapters, so you'll see the newer versions coming out and they should all have that matte coating, and it seems quite strong. It doesn't just rub off. I just attach it to the camera now. You can see the red dot there. Perhaps not that easy to see. White dot might have been better, but you do have the red dot on the outside, which makes it easier to align that up to the lens that you're going to fit to it. Now I've been using the Minolta one because I bought that myself for about a week or so, and there's just enough clearance there on the body. That's an A6300. Because the adapter has a reasonable resistance on the aperture control, but I haven't had any issues with accidentally knocking the aperture ring, but some people might have liked to have had a lock on that. That's one potential thing that they could have done, but it seems okay. The fit on the mount on both mounts is pretty much exactly what I'm getting off of my native lenses. That means there's a very slight amount of play, but there's no big amount of movement or moving around, and you don't want that. On the other hand, you don't want it so tight that you're struggling to put the lens on or take it off. Like a lot of adapters, they do focus just past the infinity point, so do bear that in mind when you're focusing. Just double check your focus and make sure that it's actually in the correct place. With the 9 clicks on this, you have a decent amount of control. You can also hold it halfway in between the clicks as well. What I tend to do using these is either put it in P or A mode if you want the camera to take care of the shutter speed. Make sure you set the ISO as you want to, and then you've only really got to worry about the focus. And that is pretty simple to do with the peaking and the focus magnification. Original mount camera on the left, that's an A77. You can see there's an additional 2 screws on that, but I don't really see that being a problem. And again, the fit is virtually identical. Just in the interest of testing, I have seen problems with light leak on some cheap adapters that I tried a few years ago. So what I'm doing is shining the torch around, all around the adapter and the lens, just to see if there's any light leak. I won't bore you with the minute-long video, but there was absolutely zero light leak on the adapter. With adapters like this, it can save quite a bit of money rebuying lenses. I've got my Minolta 100mm macro. I will eventually get around to doing a review on that, but particularly macro lenses are excellent for this type of adapter because you tend to manual focus with them anyway. There is one point to mention, a potential improvement. I would have liked to have seen a front and rear cap for these adapters. You do get the box to store them in, but it would have been nice because that helps to prevent dust getting in. So I've just got one of my old Minolta push-on ones. That would do the job absolutely fine if they had included that. So that's something I think that I'd like to see. Build quality on these feels very good. It's all metal construction, nicely machined on the samples that I have here. So I think they're quite decent adapters. There are cheaper ones. I have used them myself, but it's possibly worth spending a little bit more, getting better quality and hopefully more reliable adapters.